Welcome back to some more battles. We are in the Open Great League, and today we are going to be hunting for the Dene. So we got the Shadow Feraligatr paired with the Tinkaton here and the Gligar. So there's the Morpeko, and we are going to have this Tinkaton here able to tank the first move. We are going to fire back with a potential big move, but we go for the Bulldoze bait. They decide to shield, and we have an opportunity here to get both shields. We knew that we can get to multiple moves. We're going to go for another Bulldoze here. This Bulldoze will get shielded, and now we have the shields down at least. We are going to go into our Gligar here, which is able to do super effective fast moves. We tank the move, and then we're going to be able to come out with this matchup. Feraligatr comes back in, and we have the shield advantage, so we're going to be in a good position, and we can just shield and farm down at this point because they cannot get to 2 drill runs without us farming it down. And we already have a move for this the Talonflame, and we are going to one-hit KO from the Shadow Feraligatr. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game with our Feraligatr with the 1 shield advantage. I guess in a way this team is also targeting some ground types, so strong to ground and potential the Danes. Interesting lead here. They decide to shield the first one, and they're gonna catch their second one. It is going to be caught onto the Guzzlord, which is good for them, but unfortunately we have a great answer for this Guzzlord. This Tinkaton here is going to be able to resist, I would say, all the moves except for the Sludge Bomb. The opponent here is going to be able to survive these moves. We thought it was lower health than that, so unfortunately we end up throwing Play Rough and then Bulldoze, but because we went for that combination, we are gonna potentially get to another move here. Nope, looks like this Mirror Shot is gonna try to get us down, but we just save the energy and then we float into our Feraligatr. Feraligatr here is gonna be able to fire off a Hydro Cannon. Even though it's resisted, we get them into the yellow, so that's positive news. We go back into the Tinkaton and we force that last shield, so 2 shield. Gligar will have to win us the game. We have to shield here. This will be the surf. They are definitely going to get to an okay, they try to catch the move, but unfortunately for them, our 1 turn fast move is going to KO them. So GG Star Button, able to win that game. Kind of manipulating the switch timer a little bit, but banking the Tinkaton move that was debugged and then coming back in, grabbing that last shield. All right, Primate, we have neutral lead here. We have to think about shielding, but we are not going to shield and call the bait, and it ends up being the Rage Fist, so we end up getting the shield advantage, and then we float into our Gligar. This Gligar here has to be aware of the Ice Punch. There's the Ice Punch, so great shield by us. Aerial Ace does get through, and they double shield after the switch. So what do they have in the bag that they don't want to see? This Ice Punch is going to get shielded again, and they get to another move. Thankfully, it's only the Rage Fist, but you can see how much damage and energy it gets very quickly. Staraptor is revealed. This Staraptor dealing resisted fast move pressure, but it does go for the neutral close combat, but then it debuffs himself, so all we have to do is just go for the Flare Up and it will KO. And we see a Ferrothorn in the back. This Ferrothorn typically doesn't have a great moveset against this Tinkaton. It has to get to a Thunder just to take us out. But before that happens, we get to 2 Bulldozes, and then we force them to throw energy. At this range, they will go for, I was going to say Power Whip, but I guess they're running a Mirror Shot. So this is probably a Mirror Shot, Power Whip, Ferrothorn, so we are safely able to go into our Gligar and force the energy. And luckily, we do outpace them to this Hydro to take out the Ferrothorn. So GG's for our opponent, able to win against that tricky line, but thankfully the Airthorn was not running Thunder, so that it could basically take out our Tinkaton much easier. Interesting lead here. We are going to answer their third with our Tinkaton. We are gonna resist all the traditional moves. Trailblazers used to boost up their attack. We're gonna fire off a Play Rough. This Play Rough does nearly, I don't know, 50% right there. They still are able to survive, which is a little bit unfortunate. And now they're just gonna spam a bunch of Swifts. We fire off this Bulldoze and it does KO. Now we have to switch out because this matchup would be good for their Claydol, and we get the Feraligatr onto their Dedenne. So the Dedenne here is going to look for the double shield scenario most likely, but because we have the energy advantage, we are going to be able to reach another Hydro. They actually are going to throw this move here and force our hand. We are going to fire off this Hydro here against a boosted Dedenne. We fire off this Bulldoze, and this is a little bit unfortunate for us because now it allows them to farm us down, and Claydol does have the potential to reach a Ice Beam. So unless they're not running Ice Beam, this is not looking good for us, and down goes our Gligar. So GG's to our opponent. In hindsight, we probably needed to go into our Gligar versus that Dedenne. Gotta remember that Fury Cutter is the Gligar moveset now, so that would have been very beneficial. Alright, good lead here. We just gotta make sure we don't have our move caught, and they try to catch the move onto their Golisopod, and we have a Tinkaton here for their Golisopod now. Kind of running into the same issue where we don't really want to win this by that much. We allow this next move to go through. It gets us really low, and they actually win. So that's okay for us, as we are going to be able to farm down with a Feraligatr. And we see a Cradily. So this Cradily is at an energy disadvantage. Now we take the shield, and this Feraligatr is kind of a core breaker with energy advantage against their entire backline here. We are going to let this go because this Cradily is really low, and we still have 2 shields with our Gligar, and they realize that that's GG's because they're probably running Sludge Bomb. So check out the team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.